first got to Houston, I was nearly trampled to death in the lobby by Bella Abzug, who just came roaring in, like in this big entourage-y kind of way. But then when I finally got to the elevators, there was this short little woman with round glasses from Maine who greeted me in the elevator, stuck out a little smile sticker, and said, "Will you put this on? That's what we're doing so we can find each other." And she was one of the 2 open lesbian delegates in the Maine delegation, she and Nan Stone. So I've stuck it on, and that was sort of my early coming out process. Now I was very involved in the pre-conference organizing, and we began to observe very early on that the right wing was trying to hornswoggle the whole thing. So we were organizing at every state, and I would say about 25% of the delegates were now connected somehow. But it was plenty for us to organize everybody else. So I was pleased about that. I remember the highs of things like listening to Margie Adam, and was just wonderful. I remember being really proud of the role it now played in that. Most of the really good chairs of that conference were now people. There was a whole fight about the ER extension, whether or not the conference would do anything that would bollocks that up. And eventually, people were surprised at the margin by which the lesbian rights plank passed. It was a meeting of Linda Smith Dyer and myself and Janet Mills that on the 1st of May that led us to another meeting on the 17th where we had the 3 of us plus Pat Ryan plus Kate McQueen, and it was really the 5 of us who founded the lobby that night, and in Janet's living room. And the reason that we set it up the way it was, used to have $2 dues, and we did that so that everybody could join. There wouldn't be any barriers at all. So we had a very expansive view of who was going to be in the lobby, and the point was to have a gazillion people and to have a voice for women in Maine. And of course, Linda Smith Dyer was a driving force, as was Pat, in the whole thing. As volunteers, we never had the capacity to make sure somebody was always watching, and that was before women were in power enough to be there watching. I mean, you think about the people who came out of the Women's Lobby Network: Mary Herman, our former First Lady, Bendine Bafiatis, who was the district court judge, both of whom had been lobbyists for the Maine Women's Lobby. I used to see the lobby as a tool of the broader feminist movement, but the fact that it's survived when other things haven't, or haven't been as strong, makes me more inclined to look at it as a mover in the feminist movement in the state than it was originally intended to be. I don't care whether it's the lobby or NOW or the Women's Fund or the Maine Coalition to End Domestic Violence. I don't care who carries the torch as long as somebody's carrying it. And frankly, the strongest bearer of it right now is the Women's Lobby.